Namaste everyone. Paschimottanasana is widely mentioned in many ancient texts like Shiva Samhita, Gheranda Samhita and Hatha Yoga Pradipika. They mention that knees straight, forehead on the knees, hands on the toes in a sitting position directs vital energy into the back, especially in the sushumna Nadi, which is responsible for spiritual awakening. The digestive power is increased and obesity is reduced. Man becomes free of disease and maintains the body in a healthy condition. Paschima means posterior or back of the body, west side, and Uttana means intense stretch. This pose is also known as Ugrasana, which means fierce or powerful pose. So let's prepare for our first preparatory posture, Adho Mukha Svanasana. We come on all four, adjust your hands, finger open widely. Exhale and lift the hips up. We'll keep the knees bent very softly. Have your feet slightly apart. And we want to adjust the spine first. So your fingers are open, raising the hips high. So imagine you are pushing the entire upper body up to ceiling. Roll the shoulders back and down and try to face both the armpit towards each other. Chin goes close to chest. And now if you feel your spine is straight, we want to start straightening the knees, pushing the heel downward. And work on activating the kneecaps, thighs, tightening the navel, and with exhalation, keep moving upper body closer to lower body. This is without moving the hands. So strong legs here, active navel, and the entire upper body is reaching upward. You want to spend few breaths here. Okay, we take one more breath. Exhale, look forward and bring right foot between the hands. We are stretching the left leg back. Check right knee, ankle in one straight line. Back knee completely straight, lower down the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, squeeze the navel and raise the hip high. Try to push the back heel to floor. We'll do this few times. So inhale, hips lower, chest up. Exhale, straightening the knees, raising the hip. Inhaling, hips down. Exhale and remember to push the navel, straighten the knees here. Inhale, 4. Exhale, tight navel, knees are straight. Inhale and continue. And one last time, inhale, hips lower. Exhale and this time we straighten the knee. Walk left foot slightly forward, keeping it at 45-degree angle, which means the left foot is facing slightly to left wall. Raise your right hip socket up to ceiling. The entire hands or fingertips stay on the floor, and with exhalation we try to push chin forward. You'll have to work a little more on raising right hip up, straightening the knee, keep pressing back heel to floor and chin going closer to right shin. Try and hold this posture for at least 1 to 2 minutes. Right here we bend the knee, Exhale and come back to down dog. Preparing for the other side, Paschimottanasana. We start with the movement first. So bring left foot forward, stretching the right leg back. Check the front knee, ankle in line. Lift the chest. Exhale, raising hips, straightening the knee. Inhaling, hips lower. Exhale and try to push back heel to floor as much as you can. Inhale, opening the chest, back knee straight. Exhale and straighten both the knees. Let's continue. Make sure you move with the breath awareness. Let's do that for one last round. We bend the knee, exhale and straighten the knee. Walk the right foot slightly forward. Make sure the right heel stays on the floor. And let's walk on, raising the left hip socket high. Keep pressing the front toes on the floor. Squeeze in the navel. Make sure you do that to support lower back. And with exhalation, continue reaching forward. So very strong leg, raising hip high and letting the head come forward. Let's stay here. Focus on relaxing the breath. The more you relax your breath, the easier it will be to come forward. That applies specially for the forward bending posture. Right, next exhalation, we bend left knee and bring right foot forward. Keep feet in line with the hips and we get into Padahastasana. So bend the knee in line with the hips and move entire palm under feet. Check the toes touching the wrist. And we look forward, look for the stretch on the upper back. Squeeze the navel very tightly. And we want to stay here for 3 deep breaths. Next time we exhale, keep pressing abdomen to thigh and start to raise your hips up. Check how far you can raise without moving abdomen from the thighs. If your abdomen goes away from the thighs, it's better to bend the knees and bring thighs closer. Elbows are bent. Exhale and start to lower down the head. So move chin closer to chest first. Lean on the toes and try to raise the hip high as much as you can. With the exhalation, keep checking how far we can straighten the knee. The idea is to bring upper body closer to lower body. Making sure you are not rounding the back, your thighs and abdomen are touching each other. And again, work on relaxing the breath. We are spending few more breaths here. Again, try to hold it for 1 to 2 minutes. Here we are inhaling, bending the knees, looking forward, hands on the hip, and slowly come back to center and take a gentle backward bend. Hips forward, lift the chest up. For the next preparatory posture, we are sitting down on the floor. Keep 1 or 2 pillows next to you. I'm bending my right knee, lifting the hip up and stretching the left leg out. So open up the left leg as far as you can and rotate the left thigh in. Check right big toe and inner part of the right knee are in one straight line. Flexing the left ankle. So your left toes pointing to face and start to walk your hands forward. Make sure when you walk the hand forward, your spine remains straight. And with every exhalation, we are trying to walk hands forward. Once head goes closer to floor, you want to grab a pillow or maybe 2 and relax head on the pillow. Check again, the left leg is completely straight and active. And again, work on relaxing the breath. It will be easier to open up hamstring easily without any injury if you can spend at least 2 minutes in every hamstring stretch posture. So here, let's come back to center. Bend the left knee and we are switching the side. So lift the hip up and stretch the right leg out. Try to move it to the extreme right corner. Rotating the right thigh in. Checking left big toe and inner side of the left knee are in one straight line. And we start to walk, hands forward. Checking the right ankle is flexed completely. My right knee was little tight the day I was shooting this video. So I'm constantly trying to push back of the knee to floor. And check once we can go closer to floor. We want to grab 1 or maybe 2 pillows and relax the head down. Breath is relaxed and walk on activating the entire right leg. Okay, and with the next exhalation, we come out of the posture. Bend the right knee very slowly and come back to center. So let's take one blanket and we prepare for Paschimottanasana. You might need few more blankets to elevate your spine. And keep one belt or scarf next to you. I'm adjusting my hips here to place sit bones on the floor, rotating the thighs in, straight knees and flex the ankle. Check the toes are very active, pointing towards face. Push the navel in and check the spine is completely straight. Hands next to thighs. Now here, if you are rounding the back like this, you might have to take few more blankets and create a little extra height to elevate your spine. Right, we have legs still active and tight, and take a strap or scarf. Move it around the feet and let's work on lengthening the spine here. So we are just creating action of reaching up to ceiling, pushing chest away from the legs and back of the knees moving down to floor. Staying here, one more breath. And now with a straight spine, we want to start bending elbow. Move the elbows to side wall and start to move chin forward. The moment you start rounding the back, you might want to go back a little, lengthen up the spine, and maybe you can just stay there. You might have to give few weeks to this practice and you will start moving forward with a regular practice. And let's inhale, we lengthen up the spine and see if you can walk hands forward. Squeeze in the navel, take a deep inhalation. Exhale and we start bending the elbows and let the chin come forward. I do not recommend practicing this with the bent knees because that way there is no progression in the posture and there are no benefits that you receive from practicing this pose. Take a deep inhalation, exhale, and we start to go even more further. Open up the elbow to side wall and push the shoulder away from the ears, creating space for the upper back. And we are not dropping head on the knee. Instead, we want to stretch the spine and move chin forward. That will help you to lengthen the spine easily. Let's drop elbows to floor now. If you are closer to legs, check again, no stress to shoulder and look at tips of the toe. Or look in between the eyebrow center. And try to relax the breath here. Let's inhale, we look up and come back to center, releasing the strap. You wouldn't need extra support after few weeks of regular practice. So let me show you few variations of Paschimottanasana, and these are all classical variation. So we adjust the legs, internal rotation on the thigh, and check the hand position here. We are holding two big toes with index finger and thumb together. The knees are straight. Inhale and start to move chest away from the toes, lengthen up the spine, flexing the ankle. Look up and look in between the eyebrow center. Exhale, bend the elbows and start to move forward, bringing entire abdomen on the thigh. Looking on tips of the toes or in between eyebrow center. And once we drop upper body on the legs, we are dropping elbows on the floor. Benefits of this postures are achieved only when you hold posture for 3 or more than 3 minutes. But for initial practice, try to hold it for at least 5 to 8 deep breaths. With the next inhalation, we lengthen up the spine again. Exhale and release hands down. This was Paschimottanasana A. Moving on to Paschimottanasana B. Moving hands on the soles of the foot, toes touching the wrist, and again move chest back, lengthen up, looking in between eyebrow center. Exhale and start to bend forward. The entire upper body on the thigh, looking on tips of the toe or in between eyebrow center. After a few breaths, we inhale, lengthen up, exhale and release. Paschimottanasana C. So holding the foot from outside, thumb stays inside the feet. Inhale, stretch the spine. Exhale, push the navel. Elbows are bent and start to move forward. Check the drishti, your gaze on tips of the toe or in between eyebrow center. Keep pushing back of the knee to floor. Inhale, coming up, stretch the spine. Exhale and release. Paschimottanasana D. And here we are stretching arms further than feet. Left hand holds right wrist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale and start to bend forward. Elbows are softly bent, shoulders away from the ears. And holding it for about 5 to 8 breaths. Exhale and release. Purvottanasana is a counter pose practiced after Paschimottanasana. So move hands behind the hips. Point the toes, fingertips pointing towards hip. Exhale completely and start to lift the hips up with a straight knee. Opening the chest, chin is reaching back to stretch the throat. Rotating the thighs inward and continue pushing toes to floor. After 5 breaths, exhale and release. I hope you found this video helpful. I will see you in the next video. Take care.